Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to be doing a refurbish of my post office. As you saw, this is the way that my post office looked, and now we're going to be redoing it, refurbishing it. And the first step, of course, is to take everything down. So here I am just removing everything from the area. And then I'm getting this custom path that I chose and just putting it down everywhere. And throughout this entire build, Apollo was down in the corner there, making my life difficult, just singing the same song over and over again. There he is. Here I am going into the custom design portal for the first time, looking up a new flooring tile that I can get, change out the floor. This creator had a lot of beautiful designs. I ended up taking one of their stall designs as well, so we'll see where I can use that, but I just thought it was beautiful. And I thought that this would be a great tile. However, it just did not quite work. I left it like that just for now while I was building, but I ended up changing it 3 or 4 times until I get the right one on this. I really struggled putting down this pathing. It's so real. And I ended up talking to Apollo just to get him standing up so that I could put that one tile, and he went right back to where he was singing before. So now I'm just adding in the bookcases to the back. I did like how the bookcases kind of frame this area and make it feel more like an indoor space. They're nice and tall. And then I put the simple panels in front, and once I put the simple panels in front, I couldn't stand the flooring. It just didn't match at all. So I went back into the same creator that I got that first design from, and I thought this yellow would work. It does not.
Oh, no.
It just looks like barf. So I went and found another design, and this one didn't really work out either. It's too light, it's too yellow, it just did not work. So I went immediately right back in again. The struggle was really real on this one. So I did find this design, and I was happy with it for a moment. It makes it look really fancy. I think that this design could actually work at some other point in my builds, maybe. I really struggled with positioning of these simple panels. Anyways, the flooring was good for now, so I decided to get on with the rest of the build. I put down these den desks as I had them in my previous iteration of this post office, but I really like the way that they look. I like the way they connect in the middle, so I wasn't sure whether I was going to have them butted up against each other, whether I was going to separate them a little bit. I do end up actually pulling them slightly apart again to have a walkway through the center of them. And I do end up reusing a lot of items that I had in my previous post office. The reason why I wanted to redo my post office is just to give it an extra bit of detail and attention. I feel like I wasn't using a lot of variety in my items on the previous one, and it just was a little bit simple looking. Plus, with the addition of 50 additional design slots, I thought I can really give this a lot more detail. I added in several more package designs that I customized, Zen cushions and regular cushions. So I had a lot of fun finding these new designs and putting them in here. I do end up going in and finally changing the flooring for one last time. I go for more of a wood look with this herringbone wood design, and I love the way it turned out. See, that is the richness that I was going for. I put this stall down because originally I was going to have a little newspaper stand at the front, and I was thinking I could frame the post office on either side with a stall that had something like a newspaper area and then a little convenience store or something like that, but it didn't really have a nice flow, so I decided to go without it. There I also put some books down, but it had a library feel, and I don't want to mix. I had some library-ish items in my previous post office, and I feel like I want something that's exclusively post office feeling. So that's why I removed those items. I have a lot of items scattered around as I'm doing this build. I don't know if that's the easiest way to do it versus just going back to your house every time, because then you can actually visualize the items, but it's okay. Apollo, again. I was trying to shrug at him and then he made this bashful expression. It was really cute. I struggle a lot with that antique bureau. I want it in the post office so bad, but I put it into a million different positions. Also, the layout of these boxes on the side, it seems like I'm going back and forth on them a lot and creating different iterations of exactly the same thing, but I really had a specific idea of what I wanted in mind, and I was determined. I was determined to get it exactly the way that I had envisioned it. So I mixed up a lot of boxes, a lot of different kinds of cushions, a lot of different kinds of Zen cushions. And I love these customizations that I was able to find. All these different customizations really help. And just having that ability to have a custom design slot that I'm using once on my island versus having to think, okay, will I ever use this custom design again? And having to justify adding it to your 50 slots. No, now it's pretty much, do I have an idea for this one design? Then perfect, I will add it. So definitely a lot of flexibility. I'm so thankful that we got those extras. And here I go again with the antique bureau. I finally decide to add the anthurium plant on top of a antique table, mini table behind it, and I really like the way that it pokes over and just looks natural the way that I wanted it to. I love the hanger stand at the back. It's as if, you know, the worker has just come in, the post worker has just come in and they've put their hat and coat there. They're ready for their day of work. So yeah, here I am just adding kind of everything back in. I am continually kicking away custom design codes on the floor instead of picking things up. I was looking for that cherry box for so long, just putting different boxes down to find that cherry box. Because it does have a different look with that black tape over the top, but it's not over the top as a different box. I love using the fruit boxes to just add a little bit of additional detail. I'm not sold on the globe, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that too. And Apollo is just wanting to hang out so bad in this post office. And I also did think to maybe put this cardboard bed right in front. And I do like the look of it. But that pinch spot to walk behind there was really getting to me. And now I'm messing around with these lecture hall benches because I can't figure out whether I want to have two of them and how having two of them would work. Because I do like the symmetry of it. However, I end up actually just ditching one of them and just putting one on the right hand side instead, just because I want to have a lot of boxes. I think the box look is just so cool to have there, but it is an art. Honestly, these different boxes, there's not a whole lot of unique things you can do with them, and so just the arrangement of them takes some finagling. As you can see, I struggle with it. So there I go, removing the antique bureau. Oh, maybe I'll move it onto this side. No, that's not where you want it. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. You're not gonna put it there. That's it. Just move it over there. It's kind of hard watching this too and voicing over because I know what I did in the end. I'm like, why don't you just get there? But this is kind of all part of the design process, for me at least, is just moving something, seeing if I like it. Nope, it didn't work. Taking it down and putting it somewhere else. So here I am putting in some street lamps just so that I can kind of change up exactly what I'm looking at, get outside of it for a second. I actually do take a couple of breaks where I work on other areas of my island, or I go talk to a villager for a second, or I go and change that one song that everybody's been singing because I found out which one it was and I immediately went and changed it. That's where I actually go and see Lolly and say, okay, you're singing the same song that Rosie and Apollo are singing today. I'm done with it. So I went and changed that. I put the park clock back there, and I love the way that park clock looks. I saw a lot of park clocks being used in post office builds when I was doing research on Pinterest, and Pinterest is definitely the way to go for inspiration for me personally. I know a lot of people look on Twitter and Instagram. Personally, I find that Pinterest is great for capturing those ideas and categorizing them. So I tend to make boards and actually put sections into my boards so that I can find those design codes again. I can find that inspiration. And even if I'm looking at things on Twitter and Instagram, I always end up saving it back to Pinterest. So here I am in the build, finally getting that level of boxes on the left-hand side that I'm happy with. I kind of go a little bit nuts with this rope fence, thinking, oh, maybe I'll rope off the boxes, 'cause then it's like this is where all the packages are being held before, I imagine Wilbur like getting off the plane and trying to organize all the boxes and taking the shipment, but I was like, no. They can just sit there exposed. Nobody's gonna steal on Glenny. It's fine. And this part makes me cringe because I don't know why I thought this method was the best way to get the antique clock back there. It was not. So we're just gonna fast forward all the chaos that ensued and put the bookshelves back. Look it's beautiful. Nothing ever happened. We didn't spend 12 hours trying to get that bookcase back into position. Anyways, there's just a few more finishing touches. Gonna put that a couple boxes back in place where we had them before, and also put back that rope fence, and we are done. All right, so here we have my finished post office. I'm really happy with it. There are a couple of things that I might change down the road, like, for instance, the fact that I have the grandfather clock and then I have the park clock on this side. I do like the park clock and the grandfather clock because it's a nice symmetry. However, I'm just wondering, logically, it kind of doesn't feel good. But I love how I have a variety of different kinds of boxes, variety of different kinds of packages. I ended up using all of my custom designs that I downloaded. As you saw, I had quite a hard time finding the correct flooring for in this post office, but I think it works really nice to have a wood floor. The only thing maybe that I would like is like a step that goes down outside of the post office, but it'll be pretty hard to match. But if I ever do find a step design that I can put in here, then I definitely would include that. Yeah, I ended up taking away one of these lecture hall benches because two of them was nice and symmetrical, but it was kind of throwing off the amount of boxes that I wanted to have in here. I might throw another document stack down somewhere, and I really do like how this side section is kind of roped off with this single unit of fence. Although I do like playing postman at the back, but I kind of like also having it roped off is really cute. So let me know what you guys think. Let me know if there's any items that you think should be added. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!